Start recording. Stop recording. But speech off.
Hey guys, today I was supposed to have done a TTS video, but I didn't have time and I had a bunch of stuff to do, so I'm not going to say what I did today because it's kind of personal. But what I will do is say that I'm not going to be getting the Bop It Beats or the Bop It XT. For those of you who saw the videos yesterday, 11 and 12, this is day 13, I believe, right? Yeah, it's day 13. But anyways, I'm gonna be probably getting the Bop It Tetris. I'm gonna be one of the first blind people to actually. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have even said that. But I'm gonna be one of the first. Yeah, blind people. I'm gonna be one of the first. I'm gonna be the first blind person to ever try to beat Bop It Tetris. Because no blind person has ever beaten it. And I'd say blind because it wasn't.
Stop recording. Button. Camera chooser. Back. Speech off.
I can't really avoid using voiceover except for turning it off and pressing the record button or double tapping on the record button. You see, it just can't be avoided. Unless I just find the record button and try to press it without voiceover. But again, I don't trust using a phone without voiceover. But I mean, I can try entering a passcode. I mean, I can't even imagine using a iOS device or Android device without screen reader feedback, you know? VoiceOver is a lot easier to use, and I will be doing a video on that. Using an iPad, I think I'm gonna be using. An iPad is gonna be my test subject for VoiceOver. Not for the video, but for VoiceOver. VoiceOver is just swipes, double taps, treble taps. However, some iOS devices have different ways of using VoiceOver. Like, not the HomePod, but I mean, the HomePod is not exactly a iOS device. However, it does utilize VoiceOver. But VoiceOver VoiceOver on the HomePod, it's just the HomePod has a little tiny touchscreen on the top, probably about the size of an iPod, the width of an iPod, maybe that length, and about as wide as maybe 2 inches, by about 3 inches, maybe an inch and a half, about 3 inches, I don't know, but it's small, and it only has room for 3 different buttons. Backward, forward, and pause. Now there are, since that screen is not exactly like a glass screen, it's more, it's plastic, sort of, and it's not that sensitive. I mean, it doesn't support double tap with 2 fingers. So if you do like double tap with 1 finger, double and triple tap with 1 finger, a quadruple tap with 1 finger, those are the moves, and you can swipe. And that's about it. Not very much you can do. There's only 3 buttons that VoiceOver says. Like I said, forwards, backwards, and pause. According to Gallagher, 123, his video about the Apple HomePod, yeah, it's good for a person who is blind or a person who has low vision if they I mean, if they turn on voiceover. So you cannot turn on voiceover via the speaker. You have to ask Siri to turn on voiceover. Like you would on an iPhone or an iPod or an iPod Touch if you don't have voiceover on the phone directly. Or iPad or iPod. Or Apple Watch even. Now, the Apple Watch, since it's a bit small, you don't have swipe with 3 fingers to scroll. You swipe with 2 fingers to scroll. And that's about it. The screen is so small that you don't use 3 fingers. You only use 2 at the most. But you can do the normal double tap, swipe up, swipe down, swipe left. Double tap with 2 fingers, I think. I don't know. But you can record with apps that allow you to record. The Apple Watch has about maybe 6 or 7 gigabytes on it. Apple Watches don't have a lot of storage, okay? Although iPhones take, the original iPhone probably had about 4 gigs on it, no lie. Maybe 2 to 4, I don't know. But it's hard to imagine that iPhones originally had very little storage. Like, imagine an iPhone 3GS. When it originally had voiceover, there were 2 voices. The Samantha compact voice, which is the default voice. Then there's the enhanced, that's the only voice. They only have 2 female, and that's it. Just the Samantha compact and the Samantha enhanced. In my book, those 2 voices, compared to now, on the iPhone 3GS to the iPhone 7, 8, and 10. I was about to make the 7, 8, 9 joke, but compared to the iPhone 4, 5 maybe, starting from 5 and onward to the 6, the 7, the 8, the 10, the 10R, the 10 Max, the 10X Max, the iPhone 11 or whatever iPhones are on there now on the market. Just wanted to let you know that there could be iPhones that support 256 gigs of RAM. I don't know, but yeah. So yeah. It's just amazing. You can get iPhones that are very expensive and have a lot of storage. I'm assuming the iPhones way back in the day cost like, I don't know, a little under like maybe $200-300 at the most, maybe. Or at the least maybe about $400-500 at the most. But yeah, they were kind of, I don't know, cheap. I didn't even know about the iPhone until like what, 2012, 2011, 2013. I for sure didn't know about the iPhone in like 2013, until like 2013, because I discovered Siri and so yeah, nowadays voiceover has improved over the years. The iPhone 3G still works. The iPhone 3GS still works. I'm not using one right now. I'm using more of a newer phone that came out 2 years ago. If you gotta know what I'm talking about. Well, don't actually talk about it, okay? So, iOS has also came a long way. There was iOS, it used to be called iPhone OS, I think, right? iPhone OS. because there was nothing else out there. Though it was just like just the iPhone and the iPod. Well, the iPod Touch came out in '07 as well. So iPod Touch, iPhone, iPad didn't come out until like 2010. I think I saw the first iPad. I think I actually saw it at one time. Not too much different than the iPad Pro or whatever. iPads have came a long way. They're not that old. They're like 8 years old. The oldest, the oldest iPad, of course, is not supported anymore. Neither is the second generation. I think it's the fourth or fifth generation that is supported still. They have the iPad Pro. They have like a iPad that's even almost 13 inches long. Jeez, that's big. And iPads nowadays, I mean, all the iOS devices, iPhone, iPad, now that the iPod Touch hasn't been updated yet, but for sure the iPhone has had, it's got better stuff. And the iPhone XR, I've heard, once you go into Safari, it's not the mobile browser anymore. You get it like if it was on a Mac. So, how advanced is that? So, that is so cool. Now, if you're a Windows user, so basically Narrator has improved, and I kind of liked it how it originally was when I first started using it back in 2016. So I liked it better. But now it's all, I don't know. So, yeah. You can get the Macintosh voices for Windows. You have to get NVDA, and there's also vocalizer voices for JAWS that also are on Apple, but they're only like 20, and there's like a few from Apple. I think some voices you may recognize, like Samantha and Tom, a couple of them. No Alex, but I think Alex is on the Macintosh voices. So, I've also heard that the Apple Watch is going to probably support it's probably going to support the Alex voice. I just think that the Apple Watch could be supporting two different voices now. Because that's how I feel. I feel like maybe Apple has decided, you know what? One voice isn't enough. Let's put two voices on the Apple Watch. And they actually do have only one voice on the Apple Watch, and that's the Samantha Compact voice. I'm like, they just call it English. They don't call it Samantha or anything. And that's the only voice that comes on it. The watch is like maybe $400 or $500, somewhat. I mean, those watches are expensive. Even the Braille smartwatches, the Dot Watch from I guess the people that make it, that watch is over $500. Like, seriously, that's expensive. Because they got that technology in it, that Braille display with only 4 cells on it. But I mean, just think about it, okay? It's a small Braille display with a smartwatch. It's literally 4 cells, and there's no keys, no nothing. There's only buttons. There's like I guess it's designed like the Apple Watch. In fact, I think they just went off the Apple Watch and instead of having voiceover like Apple has, the people that make the Dot Watch have a braille display, like a mini braille display. Like, imagine 4 cells off of a braille note or whatever other note taker has a built-in braille display on it. Now, take 4 out and put it on the smartwatch. That's exactly what the Dot Watch would look like. It would look like something from... it would look like someone had taken 4 cells out of a braille display and put them on a smartwatch. But actually, if you're not careful, if you keep the dot, if you keep your fingers on the cells, the dots will, I don't know, mess up. It'll mess up easy. For like a $500 watch, that would not be cool. They don't, you'd have to actually send it in to update it. It's not like Apple where you just update the watch via your phone, because you know what, they ought to bring it to the iPad as well. They ought to bring the Apple Watch app to the iPad. Because what if you don't have a phone? You see? I mean, that would be a good point. But another point I'd like to bring out is that how would you call someone? You see, that's kind of the problem. Now, if you want to comment down below, please do so. Goodbye.
Stop recording button.